Alright guys, I'm going to do a quick video right here for going over the VPS, okay, as far as the safety features on it. Now, it's got a lot of tuning aids and stuff like that. You could add on traction control, you could add on wheelie management and stuff like that, but you could also use the data that the VPS puts out for your own integration into the ECU, like wheelie control based off the pitch output, or like what I'm doing here with the parachute. Now, with the 30, I firmly believe that this setup that I literally purchased, the parts to build it literally like the week before the accident, but they didn't show up in time, okay? So they weren't on the car. Now, it's literally, the VPS is like $1,000, which is nothing to scoff at, right? It's $1,000. But the information this gives you and the safety features this thing adds to a race car is unbelievable, okay? Now I'm gonna go over a couple little things here, and some of the things that I'm integrating into it, such as the pitch, yaw, roll deal to deploy the parachute, or I'm probably gonna do they do triggers and limits, okay? So I'm probably gonna have a trigger that will trigger the parachute as well over distance traveled for racing at some of these short tracks. Now we're going not super fast, but some of this no prep stuff, we're doing 145, pushing 150 miles an hour on some of these short tracks, okay? And you got to have your chute out like on freaking time. Now this right here, I could set it up to like have it deploy at 550, 600 feet or something like that. So the chute is blossomed and starting to catch air right at the stripe, or just maybe, you know, shortly past the stripe, okay? Now I have it set up on the steering wheel as well, so I could dump the chute just off my thumb, and I have the parachute mounted in a position so I could see it out of the corner of my eye, okay? Now I could still manually put my right hand up on the chute and deploy it if there's a failure of the system, like the MAC valve doesn't work or this or that. But I'm just going to go through a couple little things that I purchased that was literally, I don't know, the MAC valve. I literally paid $10 for it. I threw him a $20 bill because I didn't have one, and the ones I ordered were wrong. So I threw him a $20 bill for this MAC valve. The air cylinder was something like, I don't know, like $15. Parachute handle's already on there, and I made up a little bracket with a quarter 20 bolt, drilled a hole in it, and like literally I have, I don't know, a couple hours into setting this set up, fabricating everything and getting it all set up. So it's really, it can really be a car saver here. So I'm gonna go through here and flip this camera around, and then I'm gonna explain it in the ECU. Now for demonstration purposes, guys, I have it set up in the ECU. It's set up in my outputs, and it's a parachute output, right? Configure, okay? And it's gonna be set up for engine RPM also, because that doohickey, when it deploys, it freaking deploys, and it almost drilled me in my freaking head and like sliced me open, okay? So right now I have it set up for yaw and roll, okay? Just over 0 degrees. There's a reset button or a centering device on the VPS, and you set it to 0. You get it as level as possible and then set it to 0. All right, I got this thing set up to shop air right now. It's just a little deal that I made several years ago, just so I don't have to waste my CO2 or run the onboard air compressor like I had on the 30. Okay, so yaw is when you're about to hit the wall, and roll is body roll, anti-roll bar, you know, left of the car lifting up or right of the car dipping down, so on and so forth. I have it set up to 0 degrees right now, but here's a quick demonstration, okay? This is the VPS right here. It's got multiple gyros in it, multiple accelerometers. Now, don't mind some of the wiring right now, it's just sitting in here, okay? But you'll see, I'm gonna move this guy, okay? Give it a little bit of a wiggle, and you'll see this guy open, okay? Okay, now, I'm gonna do it again, and you'll see. Okay, now here's the button, okay? The blue button is also my parachute, so I'll try to do this so it's all up in camera. I'll hit the button, and it's an auto deployment from the steering wheel as well, okay? So when this thing sees right here, Do I have the VPS? Here's the VPS right here, okay? Pitch, yaw, roll, okay? It also has the accelerometers and stuff like that as well. But this deal right here, I'm not saying it would have saved the 30, but it would have made the crash a whole lot less, okay? Human reaction time is about 0.04 of a second, okay? 0.4 of a second. And some accidents or incidents like the deal with the 30 right there, it happened freaking quick, okay? By the time the human time reacts, you're able to take your hand off the steering wheel to deploy your chute. Now, we run a spring launcher on this deal, and that's why I did an air cylinder to activate the actual lever. But it's literally like $30, $40 worth of additional parts plus $1,000 VPS sensor that gives you not only a performance additives, but a lot of safety features that can be incorporated into the deal. Now, personally, I think every freaking car should have one on there, and I promise you, all my cars will have one on there. Now, I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to racing again unless I had a VPS on that car, on the new car. Okay, now they're not cheap. Now, I mean, $1,000, $1,200, or whatever it is, $1,000 with the digital display is nothing to scoff at. Okay, but when you compare it to the amount of money I lost in a matter of 15 minutes in the accident with the fire, Jesus, it's literally pennies on the dollar compared to what that could have saved. Okay, I'm not saying that would have prevented the crash, but it might have prevented it from rolling. It might have prevented it from catching on fire to the extent that it did. The accident with the 30 could have been really, really bad, and I'm not saying the VPS would have saved it, okay? But I promise you, it would have been a whole lot less significant if that chute was able to deploy as soon as the car started to wash out, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, we're well aware of the racing we do. We're well aware that racing is a lot more dangerous than sitting on your couch and watching people play cards, okay? It's what we do. We love this shit. And but there are things that we can go about and do to make sure that we can come home and see our families or go back to the racetrack and race another day. So this ain't a product endorsement or nothing like that. Fuck yeah, it is. It's a product endorsement, okay? I believe in that damn thing, okay? And when you've been put in my shoes, and I hope a lot of you never get to ride in those shoes right there, but that was a sad day to be a Nick, and it was almost Nick's last day. So yeah, you're damn right. I'm gonna run one of these GPSs on the car, every race car I have from now on. So there's a little rundown on it. I'm not a video guy. I'm not great at this stuff, but there's just a little rundown of some of the information that the VPS can transfer into safety devices like automatic chute deployment system that I fabbed up there. So simple stuff, guys, and it could very well save your car. Well, guys, if it looks like I just woke up, it's because I did. Over at my good friend Don Foss's house, where I'm working on the car now, since I sold my house, I had my little bed right there. I slept here last night. So I was feeling a little bit better, and I was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm not driving all the way back to my mom's to come back here in the morning. So went in the car, grabbed my sleeping bag that I slept in on my last road trip to go pick up some car parts, and that chair's pretty damn comfortable. But I want to add into here the features, the performance features of the VPS, okay? If you all are like me, that's one of the big reasons why we purchase things for our race cars, right? That have performance additives, okay? So I'm just gonna go through here. I'm gonna walk through this deal right here. I'm gonna put this camera around real quick, and then we'll do it. Okay, guys. This is the remote display that I was talking about, okay? The VPS itself is like $799, and then this is like another $200 for the remote display, okay? Puts it right around $1,000 complete, and it, I'm telling you, it's money well spent. Now, the virtual time slip here, okay? This is one of the things that I think is very beneficial as far as performance additives, okay? Normally when we're drag racing, we have a 60-foot time, 330 time, 660 time. 660 is 1/8 mile. You could also set this up to 1320. You know, I'm gonna do that real quick. Settings. Where is it? Boom. Settings. Probably in settings, right? VTS. Virtual time slip. Let's change it to 1320 here. And let's see if it shows it in the virtual time slip. Okay, it shows 1320. It doesn't show 1,000 foot. Okay, but it shows max mile an hour at 660 and max mile an hour at quarter mile. Okay, now in a regular drag race at a track, okay, your mile per hour that it shows on your time slip is not the mile an hour at the stripe. It's actually a combination of like the last 70 feet. I think it's at 590 feet and the 660 marker. And they do a calculation in the timing systems at the racetrack to show you that mile an hour. So this would actually read a little bit higher than your mile an hour because you're still accelerating in the last distance right there, okay? But vehicle reaction time is a big thing that they added onto the VPS system since the last one I had in the Dirty 30. The vehicle reaction time right here is the moment from the trans brake release to the VPSC's movement, okay? That dictates, they'll show you like transmission going out, they'll show you if your trans brake's hanging up, something like that, right? Now, of course, a vehicle reaction time isn't 3/8 of a second. No, sorry, 3/8 of a second. This is just something that me moving it, right? So here it shows the 30-foot time and mile an hour, which is crucial, okay? Especially for this no prep stuff. It shows you the first initial movement, okay? And it also shows mile an hour for each increment, okay? So you could go through and you could figure out your splits, and you could figure out, compare forward and backward, pass to pass, what pass is quicker, if it's faster at the 660 time, right? You don't know it's faster because it was faster from the 330 to the 660 or from 0 to the 330, okay? And this right here will show you all that. So that's just a little quick additive, just a quick rundown on the virtual time slip that this thing has. It uses, like I said, it uses the multiple gyros in it and the multiple accelerometers, okay? There's some other features in the thing as well. Like I said, the wheelie control that you could purchase through Davis, add onto it. You could add on traction control onto that. You could add on, I think you even add onto a smart shop where it cuts cylinders out in an efficient way so you don't drop the same cylinder twice in a row. Not only twice in a row, it has to at least fire once, so you don't get a hydro lock situation in there, especially with cars like running methanol. We're putting a lot of fuel through the cylinders, and if that doesn't fire multiple times in a row, you could have a hydro lock situation where the quench or the amount of airspace inside the cylinder is filled up with fuel because we're cutting the ignition on it, okay? So that's just a quick rundown on that stuff. So I'm gonna go post this video real quick. I'm gonna get back to get my new tires on the car, a couple other little things, and I'm gonna go get the spool bus and the trailer, and we're gonna load this girl up. Hopefully we'll see you at the racetrack this weekend, guys.